Jamar Cleveland recently graduated from Lincoln Park, who works here in the kitchen, is actually filming this, and he's been a good friend and he's helped me out quite a bit. His dad works here as well as part of their family, and as you can tell, that phone never stops ringing for reservations and takeout orders. People absolutely love where this stuff is made from scratch. Their Italian cuisine every day. Lou Bellino's Casa de Emanuele in East Liverpool, and he is headed off to the Marine Corps. So as he gets ready to head to Paris Island, we salute him. Okay, Ted, there's another camp, not Paris Island, and as Big John Banaszak said years ago, if you can get through Paris Island, you can get through anything, including Steelers camp. It has really changed a lot. And I was talking to Eric Hagman last night. You know, I go back to the mid-'90s when I actually used to be up there doing shows and covering it, and I was there even on the very first day that Troy Polamalu showed up. But now we do the Coons Market Black and Gold Sunday show in Pittsburgh, and we leave those other professional journalists to do what they do, and they do a great job. Eric's going to be out there with the updates on 93.7 The Fan and News Radio 1020 KDK on Friday. But Steeler Camp 2017, NFL football camp, how do you really think we should approach it? They don't really grind it out and take, chances, if you will, with their top players. Many of them get a chance to rest because they know it's going to be a very long season. And a lot of that really is more just giving these young players an opportunity during the exhibition season to show what they have.
It is, and that, I mean, really, if you look at it, any injuries that would occur in preseason are really considered unforced errors on the team. So they're going to take exceptional care making sure that the guys who really know the system anyway don't go out there and for no real reason get injured. It's like when Sean Sweetham played in that game, the Hall of Fame game, and because of the status of the field, tore his knee out when making a tackle on a extra teams play, and really we lost a great field goal kicker. Now we got a great field goal kicker in his place, but you don't want unforced errors. And we've talked so many times on our show about the best ability you can have in football is availability. And if these guys get hurt and not available for the season, that's a big blow.
Hey, tomorrow night, Pirate Baseball from USA Today and FanRag Sports. The great John Pratte will be here eating some pasta at Casa de Emanuele. Now, Teddy, let's talk about the number one jersey, Dick's Sporting Goods. Mr. Stack, longtime friend, did television there for years. The closest one, of course, right there at the Beaver Valley Mall. You got to love this. This is a great story. Tom Brady, the GOAT, if you will, the greatest of all time, always has had the best jersey, right? You would think it would be him or Marshawn Lynch or even Ezekiel Elliott, the young man who started Ohio State, or even Aaron Rodgers, that great number 12 for Green Bay. But no, it is James Conner. He, of course, from Pitt, Hodgkin's lymphoma, survived it, cancer-free, and now with the Steelers in training camp and a good chance for him to be the backup to Le'Veon Bell. The best-selling jersey right now at Dick's Sporting Goods. That's a good story, Ted.
It's a great story. And, he's a good football player. I mean, there's a lot of special interest in him because of his off-the-field story. But he's a good football player, and I'm really excited to watch him play. I was on the unfortunate end when Pitt played Bowling Green in a bowl game, and it was as though he was playing against a bunch of high school kids. Bowling Green had a really good team for a MAC team that year, and Bowling Green's beat Pitt in the past. But it was just amazing to watch him run through those guys. So I'm really, really looking forward to watching him on the field, above and beyond the tremendous personal care story that he has. I'm really looking forward to him as a football player.
All right, and to all of my friends from the Pitt Dental School, I will have a Pitt hat in the very near future, as you requested when I do these videos, so we'll take care of that. Hey, Teddy, this is Bob Labriola, Steelers Digest, Steelers.com. Love him, interviewed him many times. They have question and answer from the fans, and that's where a lot of my stuff comes from, because these fans ask better questions than I do in many cases. They're asking one of the fans, can you explain how Le'Veon Bell gets $12 million with a franchise tag when the highest paid running back in the league averages around $8 million? And that's the average of about 5 of the top running backs in the league. So how does that work, Ted?
Well, I think he gets to match one of the top, I think it's top 3 players, they have to offer him, and it's a formula. So it's all in the player's union contract, and so it's very formulaic. It's not like there's this big negotiation on it. It's what he can get, and it's what the players' union had negotiated in the past.
So basically what they do, they take the top three and kind of average it out, and that's what he ends up getting. Now, the question also asked at Steelers.com, can the Steelers use a franchise tag on a top player for more than 3 years? I know they can do it for 2 years, but could they do it again to him next year?
They can do it again to him next year, but that's it. And then it gets contentious, because if he has a good year this year, and this is the key for him, if he has a good year this year, his price tag goes up. If he gets hurt and only plays 10 games, 8 games, 9 games, then there's a question as to what the Steelers are going to do. And we've seen them deal with running back pretty much as a commodity before, that they equal out X amount of carries, X amount of yards, X amount of hits, and it's kind of like a depreciating asset that the running back has. So they know what they're doing, and we've looked at some of the running backs in the past, and they have dealt them out.
All right, don't forget Lou's Market. We told you about it in our earlier video. It's every Sunday, 11 a.m. to 5 through September. Great vendors, great atmosphere, wonderful time. It's 460 Mulberry, right adjacent to this great restaurant. You can stop over for a little manja-mange and enjoy Lou's Market. It's going to be there through September. And every Wednesday, live entertainment. You may hear some of it going on in the background at their beautiful patio. It's incredible. They even have it enclosed, so you're out of the elements, and you definitely are going to enjoy some patio dining here at Casa de Emmanuel. A couple of more things from Bob Labriola. You can ask him a question, too. Go to Steelers.com. A gentleman's wife's 70th birthday got him a jersey with the number 70, and it was the great Ernie Stotner who had that number. He played 14 seasons with the Steelers, only missed one game. He died in February of 2006. He was 80, and I know Mr. Dan Rooney, my late dear friend, that was one of his favorite players. And I got to tell you, a little emotional early today putting this together when I realized once again that Mr. Rooney would not be here as we start Steelers season, so he is definitely in my thoughts on a day-to-day basis. Now, something else, this is rather interesting, and it simply says, why Landry Jones will remain the backup for Ben and not Joshua Dobbs. The traditional answer from anybody in any front office or any coach in the NFL is that they want the player that gives them the best chance to win. So is it still Landry Jones who gives them the best chance to win, Ted?
At least through the first half of the season. But we've looked at how Landry Jones has come in, and it's not he's won a couple of games. I got to give him that one. But when they bring Ben in, when he can hardly throw the ball, when there's no time or your last remaining drive, it means that the Steelers still have questions about Landry Jones. He did play a couple of really good games, a couple of really good series and other games, but they must have doubts about him, simply because you don't bring in players maybe 50% of his physical capabilities when you compare him to a player that's 100% capable of playing. It's just that, once again, it almost becomes a mathematical equation. You obviously feel that your one player with 50% capability gives you a better chance to win than the 100%. So I think they still have questions about Landry Jones. I think the Steelers are very, very reticent about changing quarterbacks. So I think they probably believe that he can at least come in and maybe win a couple of games, but I don't think he's there for the long-term future.
Big story also trending today, NFL.com. Bruce Arians, former offensive coordinator, and really attributed to really making Ben into the quarterback that he is today by many people. Now the head man with Arizona. You got Carson Palmer, who used to room with Troy Polamalu at USC, 37, and Larry Fitzgerald, the former Panther, edging towards 34. Is their window just about ready to close for a Super Bowl opportunity? And we'll end on that note, Ted.
You know my feeling. Cincinnati Bengals. I don't have a very high regard for them or their coaching staff. I think the window is closing. I would be very surprised if they have a better season than the Cleveland Browns do this year.
All right, being that you were so quick on that, let me throw this in. Earl Thomas, tibia out week 13, Seattle last year. Dolphin center, Marquise Pouncey's twin brother, Mike Pouncey, missed 11 games with a hip last year with Miami. And the Jets also parting with a lot of veterans. Matt Forte, the former Bear, now Jet, said, look, I don't think they're tanking. Jaguar center Brandon Linders gets a big deal, and the wide receiver that is Allen Robinson could be next. I think Tom Coughlin's going to make a difference there. I think that the Jets basically are tanking, and they're going to rebuild. But when you talk about reps, and that's what this camp is all about in the early part anyway, especially for the younger players, missing that much the year prior and then coming into camp? Are reps as important for seasoned veterans just as much as rookies if they haven't played that much the season prior, Ted?
Yes, they are, because they're out of sync. Reps are all about getting a team in sync, so that you're looking at the center being the quarterback for the line, if you will, and that the rest of the line is keying off him. And then you're looking at, obviously, the backs and receivers, and everybody doesn't, a lot of people don't realize that route running is so important. Not as important sometimes with Ben when he breaks out of the pocket, then it becomes like a street football game. But when you're driving down the field and you've got set plays, running routes are key, and that's repetition, repetition, repetition.
Ted Arnaud, every Sunday on News Radio 1020 KDK's Coons Market Black and Gold Sunday Show, and we've got so much ahead of us as far as the Steelers, so you're definitely going to want to tune in. Back tomorrow night, Dr. Terry Madonna, more on the health care bill that just can't make it past first base. He'll be talking about that and everything that is Washington. And then, of course, it is from USA Today, FanRag Sports, longtime Pirate beat writer and incredible talent. I believe the best baseball writer in America, on location at Casa de Emmanuel, John Parado. Have a great night from Lou Valino's Casa de Emmanuel in the historic East End of East Liverpool, Ohio. Good night.